Hello everyone, welcome to your channel Salesforce Geeks World. Our today's topic is flow and automations. So basically, we are going to understand what flow is, what flow offers, and what is the application of flows in Salesforce. Uh, Before going deep into like what flow is, let's understand the chronology why flow came into picture in Salesforce. So initially, when Salesforce like introduced the automation, it was only workflows and process builders. So we came to Flow because there were certain limitation and like some less features available in workflows and process builder. These things we corrected and we moved to Flow. I'll not go like deep in workflows and process builder in this video. I'll just show you where you can find these things. So you can type in quick search workflow and you can click on this workflow. You will get to the list of workflows. Similarly, you can go to process builder and once you click on process builder, you will get to the list of process builder in your org. So as part of the recent update from Salesforce end, they have mentioned that they are sooner gonna deprecate the use of workflow and process builder, not the use exactly. They're not going to support the like there would be no support from Salesforce end over these automations. So it's better to switch your org's automations to flows now because that's what Salesforce is with currently. So without wasting much time, let's go to the flows and understand like how we can create and what all things are available in flows. Now, before we go to the creation part, let's understand what's the need of flow. So as I mentioned, like there were automations previously available in Salesforce. Lot of things were not possible from those automations with the help of automation done from trigger or code. Majorly we can achieve from the flows as well. So instead of writing code we go with flows. uh, the question comes like how we can create a new flow. So the one way of creating a new flow is to create it from this new flow button, or either you can go to the object and create the record trigger flow from there, but this is the generic way. We'll click on this new flow. So as soon as we click on this new flow, you will get an option, certain options to go with. So we have certain options of creating the flow. So one is record triggered flow, one is screen flow, one is scheduled flow, and auto launch flow. A record triggered flow is something when you update a record, do a DML over record, you want certain actions to be done on other related records or on the same record, you go with record triggered flow. I'll show you in this video how we create one and how we use that. And similarly, screen flow also I'll show you like how we use it. Screen flow is generally these are the flows where you have a screen, you get the input from the user. Based on the input, you do some DML in the backend. And these are not just input taking flows, they can also show the details on the screen based on the backend data. So this is basically replacement of LWC. You can do create a component just by drag and drop in here. The screens basically, which where you previously used to do it with the LWC or lightning components. So record trigger flow is a replacement for triggers, workflows and process builder. Screen flow is a replacement for LWC lightning component. Schedule trigger flows are replacement for any batch processes. So any scheduling that you want to do, asynchronous jobs that you want to run, like which will run by itself asynchronously, that you can go with this third option. Auto launch flow is something like, let's say you have a call out happening in your system and you want to have certain DML being done around that. An external system is doing some update in your Salesforce org. Based on that, you can have certain automation being triggered from here. You can use platform events triggering as well, this one, to do that. So there are other options as well, but for now we will go with screen flow and record trigger flow. But in case if anyone is interested in any other type of flow, we can discuss that in our upcoming videos. Do let me know on in the comments of this video. We'll create the new video for that particular topic as well. For now, let's go with record triggered flow. So before creating the flow itself, I'll show you what I'm gonna achieve with this. So what we'll do is we'll go to the opportunity object. So in opportunity, what we want is, so let's take this record test record. So what we want is, let's say this amount of opportunity once exceed 300, then we are gonna update the stage to close one. So we are gonna make the stage to close one if the amount is greater than 300. So to do that, let's go to the flow. So it will automatically change the stage to close one. So here we have to select the opportunity object. I'll select the opportunity object here. Then it asks like at what event you want to run this flow. Basically, when a record is getting created, you want to run this. A record is updating, you want to run this, or both create and update, you want to run this. So our application is just to do an update. So whenever someone is updating the amount on the opportunity, we want to run the flow. So next thing it asks is any entry criteria. This is very much important. So if you have to specify a condition when your flow needs to run. So basically system needs to know what filtering it has to do. Let's say you are doing a bulk update on n number of records. They all are not supposed to go into this flow automation, right? So you have to provide a condition here that only run this particular flow when the amount of the triggering opportunity, like the amount opportunity which is getting updated, is greater than equal to 300. So only then we want to change the stage, right, to close one. So we'll keep it like this. Then we'll keep the condition is as that uh, the opportunity name, sorry, the name should not contain. Let's keep this as a secondary check. It should not be equal to test. So only update the opportunity whose names is not test, and that's it. Now another thing that it says is when to run the flow. So basically it says every time when your record is getting updated and meeting the criteria, or only when a record is updated to meet the condition requirement. So the difference between these two is, let's say I have an opportunity whose amount field is greater than 300, but you are not updating the amount field, you are updating some other field, let's say stage, but still this flow is running. That is not correct, right? So you have to only evaluate this automation when your amount is getting updated to more than 300, not every time. So this flow should run only when your amount is greater than 300 and somebody is manually updating the amount field, not any other field. So there are two ways of doing it. Either you check this radio button, or the more precise way is to go with this particular field here. You can select the amount field and select is change here and write true here. So as you see, this is disabled. Why? Because we are precisely telling our flow automation that only run when the amount is greater than 300, name is not equal to test, and amount is getting changed, amount field is getting changed. Now once our conditions are being written, then what we have to do, we have to check, optimize the flow. Basically you have to specify at what instance this flow is supposed to run, either it is before or after. Now the question is when to go with before and when to go with after. So in cases where you want to do a DML, or you want to update or insert the related records to the this opportunity record which is coming into the this flow context, then you like check the this second box. Why? Because it is after the record is saved to the database, which means that in case of insert activity, you will get the ID of the record and you want to use that ID to get the related records. Without ID, you cannot get the related records and update them. For that context, we go with the second box. But in case if you want to do the update on the same record, on the same opportunity which is triggering it, then we go with this particular option, which in our example is the case. So we are going with the first option as we are supposed to update the stage of the same opportunity when these conditions satisfied. We'll click on save. So we'll give the name of the flow as well. So a flow name would be opportunity stage update. So once we do that, we click on save. As soon as we click on save, what we can do is we can click on this element part. Let me close this. Now let me change it to free form first. Now as you can see, these elements are visible to me. Now let's say I want to add a decision as well here. So what I'll do is I'll drag this decision here. This is the element that we can utilize. So I'll keep the same check here. Um, check conditions. So I'll give the name as check conditions. I'll give that check stage not equal to close one. So we are checking that stage is not equal to close one. So we'll type stage here. Now here is the difference. Now if you want to select any field of the triggering opportunity, you have to write triggering opportunity, then go here, then select your field. So I want to only update those record whose stage name is not equal to close one already. We don't want to do update twice. If it is not equal to close one, then only do the update. So we'll select this, connect this. Now, because we have selected first box here, we are not supposed to do a update on the triggering record again because it's not been committed yet to the database. So what we can do, once the conditions are met, we'll just do the assignment. If we would have had selected the second box, then we would should have done the update record element. That is this one. Let me show you. That is this one. But let's use assign because we have not committed it. So let's say update stage. Now here we give the triggering record, same way, triggering record stage name equals to close one. Click on done. Now we will connect this decision to the assignment. On this particular check only it has to go done, save, and activate. Now if you don't activate the flow and your, let's say your automation is not running, which all places you have to check? You have to come to this flow screen, check if it is activated. Along with that, check if the entry criteria is being met and it is entering while doing the debug. So when you debug that, you will be able to understand. Now let's go to one of the opportunities, that test opportunity, and try to update the amount to 300 plus, that is 304. Now what should happen, because the opportunity name is test, it should not update the stage to qualification. So I'll no, not update the stage to close one. So it has not updated. Now what I'll do is I'll change the name to opportunity record. Let's keep it one for now. Save this. Now because the opportunity name is not test now, if I update the amount to more than 300, our criteria would meet and the stage would change to the closed one stage. So let's do that. 305 I'll do. Click on save. See, it has updated to close one. So this has happened because of our flow. Now this is how it works. Now if you want to do the debug over this flow, what you can do, you can click on debug, select the same opportunity, record opportunity, do the update. Now let's say I want to update this, close one stage, I'll make it to qualified. Even if I make it to qualified and I update the amount to 400, it will still run and update it to close one. So stage will be again close one. If I go, like, here is the all debug that you can see. So it has went to this decision, it has checked the qualification does not equal to this, all conditions are met, then it went to the assignment and it made the stage to close. So till here we got to know like how a record trigger flow works in Salesforce and what is the application of it. Now let's do another flow, that is a screen flow. So for this example, what we'll do is we'll click on screen flow. We'll press OK here. We'll change it to free form. So in this, what we are gonna do, we'll go to the account object. So let's say we go to account. From here, we click on account. Let's take an example of seller, not seller. Let's take an example of distributor account. So in here, we have zero contact at the moment. What we want is, if someone clicks on a custom button, which we create over here, it should open a screen and it should take an input from us and create a contact record based on the input under this account only. How we can achieve this is through a screen flow without any code. So what I'll do is I'll go to the screen flow, new screen flow. I'll drag a screen here. In order to create a contact, we'll give the screen name as create contact. Now, once I do that, I'll drag the text field here, that is this one. In the text field, I'll give the last name as the name of the field. So because the last name is the only field which is mandatory to create a contact in Salesforce. So I click on done. I'll connect this screen. Now before, this screen would take the input from the user and will help us in creating the new contact. Before creating the new contact, what I need is a input variable. Why? Because let's type it as record id. This variable would help me to get the id of the current account so that I can relate the newly created contact to that account. I'll show you how. So I click on done. This variable is created. This will store my account id on which I am while I am clicking on the new contact button. Now what I'll do is I'll drag the update element, not update, sorry, I have to create the contact, right? So I'll drag the create record. I'll write create contact here. Now how to select the record field value? So basically I don't want, a variable to be, I don't have a variable to be assigned to a specific value. So what I'll do is I'll manually do this activity. I want to create a contact, so I'll select the contact object here. Now I want, while creating the contact, I want to specify the last name, as this is the only mandatory field while creating the contact. So I'll take it from the screen element. Here is my screen element, create contact, and I'll take the last name from the user's input, click on done. Then I'll drag this create contact screen to the create record screen. That's it. Now I'll click on save. I'll give the create related contact. Here click on save. Okay. Once I save it, I'll activate the flow. Now the next thing is, now this is ready. Now what I have to do is, I'll have to go to this account, add the button in this drop down. So how I can do this? I can click on edit, click on edit page. First I need to check what layout it is using. So let's see. So it is using the distributor layout. So I'll go to the distributor layout, and parallelly in the object manager, I'll go to the account and create a new action here. This action would be calling our flow screen. So I'll create a new action here, and this action will put in our page layout only so that it is visible to us. One second. So to create a new action, you have to click on new action, then select the flow from here, give the flow name, that is create related contact in our case, give the label as what you want, click on save. So as soon as you do that, this action would be visible on this layout, distributed layout. So I'll refresh this. I'll go to actions here, mobile and lightning actions. Let's give the name here. So it's present here. So what will drag it? So once we drag it, I'll click on save. Now because we have saved it, when I go to the distributor record, it should show up over there. So as you can see, we have got the create related contact. Before we create a new contact, let's go back to our flow. There is one thing I guess which we have missed here. That is, we have not let the automation know, like let this flow know that to which account this new contact has to relate. So in order to do that, what we have to do, we have to click on this create record, click on this add field, write account ID. Account ID is the field on contact which specify that to which account it is related to. Then we'll give the record ID here. Record ID is nothing but it's coming from the current record, current account. Click on done. Save as a new version because we have activated it. It will be saved as a new version now. And then we activate it now again. Now we'll go back to the screen. We'll refresh it and we'll click on this create related contact. We'll type test contact. We click on next. That's it. As you can see under the distributor record, it has added a new contact here. So that's what our screen flow did. It took the input from us. That's the last name that we put in the text field. You can add more screen options here from the flow builder. And once the last name was given, it and we clicked on next, it created the contact for us. So that's all. That's all what I wanted to show you in this video. If you want any specific things to be elaborated in more detailed way, or you want any other specific topic to be covered, do let me know in the comments of this video. Till then, stay tuned for more interesting stuff, and do like, share, and subscribe Salesforce Geeks World. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you.